Right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing Swords. As always, I'm Andrew.
And I'm going to do something a bit different today. In many
You're wearing
ways.
shorts.
I'm wearing shorts. Listen, the sun's out.
I noticed your legs.
I'm such a different
Been
beast
working out,
in
but
the
it's all
sun.
that walking. It's going for
I have
those
been
long
working out,
walks.
actually. I've been doing leg day. I don't skip leg day.
Good man. That's what I like to hear.
No, listen, I'm going to do a few things different. One, the whole episode is different.
It is.
Right? Two, if you want to let us know how you found the episode, if you want to let us know anything, give us ideas for future episodes.
He's doing the outro at the intro.
I'm just dropping the link. So if you want to go support us in any way,
It's all here on the screen. Jazz hands.
you can go to Twitter at Swords Crossing. You can hit us up on TikTok at CrossingSwords_podcast. You can do the same on Instagram at CrossingSwords_podcast. You can find us on YouTube following the link in the description wherever you're listening to it, or you can just type Crossing Swords Podcast in YouTube. Like, subscribe, go and find a video on any of those platforms, like it, subscribe to us or follow us, and share it if you can on YouTube and TikTok. If you just leave a comment, even if it's just a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you call us all Matrix men.
Or send a middle finger emoji.
Then it just really helps us with the algorithms,
Yeah.
and we're really, really grateful if you could do that. That I just wanted to get up
Fantastic.
at the top.
I tell you what, while we're doing a bit of on-pod admin, why don't we quickly do a quick disclaimer for the start of the episode?
Sure.
Because first off, I'm still quite poorly, so I'm coughing and spluttering. So if you do hear a bit of coughing and spluttering, I do apologise. But the other disclaimer, I would say, this is very much going to be a visual episode as much audio. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say you are much better going and checking this out on YouTube. So wherever you're listening to
100%.
this, give it a few minutes, because we'll probably preamble a little. We'll do a little bit of the setup.
Yeah.
You'll know when to switch, but I would say pause it.
Yeah.
Head over to YouTube. Get down in the description.
Click that link, and it will take you straight to our page, and it will be the latest video.
It's going to be very visual, because it's more than anything, it's going to be our reactions to what's happening today.
And I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Looking forward to this one. I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
Because I had in my head an idea of what I was going to bring to the table. So look, let's get it off the top of the table. It's an eating episode. We're going to try some food.
Jake's wanted to do it for a while. So have I, to be fair. But this was one of Jake's babies, and we've just never got round to doing it.
I had an idea of three things that I wanted to bring.
Okay.
Couldn't find any of them anywhere.
Oh, that's a shame. What can I ask what they are, or do you want to save that for a future date?
No, you can ask. You might have some of them.
Interested. What are they?
Well, I don't know. So I was going to go jelly deals.
Oh, fuck. I'm so glad you didn't get that.
Did you get jelly deals?
No.
So I was going to go jelly deals as a little London delicacy.
Yeah.
I was going to get haggis.
Okay.
I presume you may have already tried haggis.
No, I've
with
never
your Scottish
tried
roots.
haggis.
I've obviously had haggis, neeps and tatties a few times.
I just always hated the idea of haggis.
It's actually really nice. It's fine. And I was going to go from Northern Ireland. I was going to get some potato bread.
Okay, I've never actually had
nice
potato
and
bread,
easy.
I don't think.
There's also a fantastic dish in Northern Ireland.
The jelly deal fills me with so much dread.
There's also a fantastic dish in Northern Ireland which I think you'll appreciate. It's called, Steph told me about it. No, it's called a vegetable roll.
Okay.
It is minced meat.
Right.
With
what? The mince pie mince meat or mince meat?
I'd have to properly look at it. I don't know.
Okay.
I've only just discovered it this morning.
Yeah.
It's like minced meat. It's like a minced meat patty. Well, more of a roll than a patty, I suppose, but with like herbs and onion and all that kind of stuff in it.
Right. So why is it a vegetable roll?
Ironically
Irish.
named, I don't know.
Just
just Irish. So I thought I'd go something for
Reasons.
the home counties. Welsh, we could have had a Welsh cake.
I like where your head's at.
do you know what I mean? I was just kind of
I'm on board with it.
Going around.
I mean, not the jelly deals. I am so fucking glad you didn't get those.
The thing is,
I've heard nothing but bad things.
I reckon there's a couple of shops where I could have got them.
Yeah, and I mean, not often, but now and again, I'm a purveyor of a pie and mash shop where famously you can get
jelly deals.
And I've just never liked the sound of it. My dad told me there were bones in it and they're just not very nice. So
I've never fancied the sound of it, but I thought for today it would be.
Yeah. I mean, we could have just got pie and mash in and sat here and had a nice pie and mash lunch.
We just have lunch.
Should we get on Deliveroo or you can order it in?
Should we just have lunch? Do you know what we should do?
Just skip what we've brought in and have pie and mash?
We should do a dinner date episode.
I like that.
Well, we just have some dinner.
I'd love to do if we ever had like the funding. I mean, it wouldn't take a lot of funding, but like a Crossing Swords come dine with me and get our mates. I have the people that have been
the
on.
Crossing Swords
Joe,
occasional
Alan,
co-hosts.
Alex, Steersy, Still have them come round here, but maybe they have to come here and prepare a meal and
They have to bring a dish, and
yeah, I like the idea of that.
I'm so in for that.
Yeah, I think the guests might be like, look, it's one thing asking me to come on and sit here, but quite another to make me cook you a meal.
But that's not what we're doing today.
No, it's not.
That's not
But we are going to be eating. I mean, do you want me to just break the seal and tell you what I've got, or do you want me to do it one at a time?
Yeah, boy.
Appropriate as well, because he's a chef.
Yeah, I don't think that's the one you'll be using when we're trying.
Is it going to be?
I'm interested to know if you've tried any of it. I think maybe the best way is one thing at a time.
100%. I say you go, I go.
Now, there is a common thing.
You
They
go,
can
I go.
all be used with some crackers. So we've got some
So we've
crackers.
got some crackers.
We've got some crackers. The
Some
first
number-
one,
Ooh,
I'm going to go for what
garlic
I've-
scalloped crackers.
I went a little bit posh. And
I
I've
like
had these
the idea
before.
of that.
They are nice. I've had
I
them before.
do
They're
like the
even
idea of
nice
that.
on their
Do you know
own.
what? One of the things I've got, I think, would go with crackers as well.
Brilliant.
So perfect.
I don't think we're going to be eating a lot of them with what I've bought. If I'm being honest, none of these things I've tried. I'm hoping you haven't, but knowing you, there's probably a chance you might have. The first one is quite light.
I used to be
but
a very
apparently is like used to be a nation staple sandwich spread.
okay. I'm happy to try it. I would not say it's my jam in general. Obviously, it's not
me
jam.
neither.
I'm
I've
well
never
aware of that.
tried it. I actually don't know what's in it. I didn't read any of it.
It
It
can
looks
I just
like
say
coleslaw.
it does say on the top bristling with flavour on the lid.
The only time I've ever heard of it outside of work was, do you remember there was a Top Gear special? And I feel like Clarkson bought sandwich spread in an episode one.
Yeah, maybe.
So yeah, we can try some sandwich spread.
Yeah.
Should we do
Okay.
that now?
Should we
straight
try
away?
some sandwich
You
spread?
open up the.
I'll get the crackers
crackers.
going. Yeah, because I used to be a very fussy eater.
Oh mate, I've got to be honest with you. It doesn't
Does
look
it not?
appetizing.
No, so when I was younger, right, I would literally eat like a roast dinner, shepherd's pie, and chicken nuggets. That's pretty
Yeah.
much all I would eat.
You'd have what? Sorry.
I'd have a roast dinner,
Yeah.
I would eat, shepherd's pie, I would eat, and chicken nuggets, I would eat. And outside of that, precious little.
Right. I've got a spoon for each thing.
Whereas now, I'm a little bit slightly more adventurous. There's still a lot of things I won't try. Would you like a
I'm gonna
cracker,
give this
sir?
a sniff. Yeah, I don't like this. It smells a bit salad creamy, if I'm being honest.
Which is not my favourite.
I hate salad cream. So.
It's gonna
Oh, they're a
be-
bit squashed, the crackers.
They are. I might empty them out onto the plate here,
Yeah, that's fine.
which has gone swimmingly, by the way.
Look, there's going to be a bit of, awkwardness and pausing and lack of noise. People are just going to have to bear with us.
A cracker for you, sir.
Thank you. I can't say I'm going to do a full cracker with
I'm
this.
just going to. Do you know what? In all honesty, I think I've got enough with the half-broken crackers to just have a little go.
Right.
So what I am going to do is I'm just going to try one
How
of these
much?
garlic and not that much.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Oh,
I told you they're nice.
that cracker on its own is quite nice.
I told you. I've had them before. Right. Oh, my God.
Do you know what? I was so looking
Right, for the
forward.
camera, I don't know if you can see that. That's how much I've put on.
I was so looking
My
forward
bit
to
of a
this
cracker.
episode, and now that we're actually here,
The thing is,
It's-
I did
it's
check
not
with
my
Jake
jam.
last week when we talked about doing it off pod. It doesn't smell awful.
it doesn't
Like I
smell
said,
great either.
I've started
Can I
light.
see how much you've gone?
Yeah. I've sort of. Oh, you've
Just-
got a bit braver than me.
I just want to match you so you can see.
I think you've gone more brave than me.
I don't think I have. I
before-
think you've got more. Cheers, sir.
Cheers. Luckily, I've got a bit of a cold. So
Do you want to say anything? Yeah, why didn't I? Do you know what? My partner's been ill as well.
You should have been rubbing up against
I
her,
used to-
licking her, and
I used to catch everything, and this is the one I don't. Are you kidding me?
so yeah, I was sort of. And like I said, I've started off
Not gonna-
light. By
We
the
should
way.
have had like a massive. We should have had a spit bucket.
Well, the cardboard box. There's
Oh,
tissues.
okay. This is the spit bucket,
It's not a spit. What I would say is take a tissue. If you really don't want it in your mouth, spit it into the tissue
and then put it in the box.
bucket.
And we should have had like just a big jug of water as a
Yeah.
palate cleanser.
Well, look, there is a bottle of Schlur next to you if things.
There
get
is a bottle of
desperate.
Schlur.
So, right, are you ready?
Do you want it? Should we do it one at a time? Because otherwise it might be dead air. Do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first.
Okay, you do it. I'm just gonna watch you react. What's your views? So your face is very like meh.
It's actually all right.
Okay. Well, we have very
It's a
different.
bit like a relish.
We have very different palates as well.
Mm,
So this will be interesting.
bit crunchy.
It's not horrible.
No, it's all right. I wouldn't like.
I kind of
It
like
is
it.
tangy, like it's.
There's like a chivey thing going on there.
I could see that, funnily enough,
Or
going
pesto
on
or something.
maybe like a cheese sandwich. Because like if the
I could see it pairing with like a plain chicken.
see, I think if you had that with like a mature cheddar, a Cathedral City mature cheddar,
Well,
with nice buttery white bread, that on top would take the heat out of the mature cheddar, if you know what I mean.
I'm going to level with you.
You gonna have a bit more?
I kind of like it. I might have a tiny bit more.
I might go for another one.
Just like a little one of them. Do you know what I mean? Just a little.
Go and brave, I've dipped. But yeah. Well, better than I thought.
It's like the after. There's like something. There's like a really strong, like whatever the most powerful flavour is in there.
Mm.
Not really sure what it is though. Like I can't. I mean, Christ, what's not in this? Shall I read you the ingredients? Spirit vinegar, sugar, cabbage, rapeseed oil, carrots, gherkins, modified corn flour, onion, salt, egg yolks.
What's not?
Red peppers, mustard, xanthan gum, spice extracts.
Xanthan gum's in everything.
Spices, herb extracts. There's a lot in that. Celery. Christ almighty, that's like...
I mean, it's
about 4 or 5 a day.
That's really inoffensive, really, actually. I thought that was going to be a lot worse.
I did think that. There's something about the look of it. It doesn't look appealing.
Well, it looks like sick.
I mean,
if we're being transparent.
Other brands are available, but
it's Heinz sandwich spread.
Look at that. Like, it looks like baby food.
Yeah. But worse. Baby food actually looks all right.
I actually didn't hate that.
No, it's all right.
I was really concerned when we came into this.
Yeah, and like I said, I started off light.
Yeah.
I think personally they get progressively worse.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to the other two.
Shall I bust one out?
Yeah.
I think
and
a
then do you want to
cracker's in
show me
order.
what you bought?
I think what in general, all of it.
You said I'm going to bust one out.
I just sort of went.
Fine.
I'm not. No, I got it. I got it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Go on.
You know, I came into this with ideas of what I was going to get.
I've got my vape in my pocket.
And basically, I thought, would that get us restricted because you smoked on air?
I've done it quite a few times.
I know, I watch you do it. So
I think if we were big enough to be monetised,
it would.
Absolutely, they'd demonetise it.
So I just went around the supermarket to see if I could find something that was a bit new or a bit different.
Okay.
So I've come up with Chipotle chili cheddar.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it's just a bit different.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be spicy, isn't it?
I don't know.
Luckily, I've got knives.
Yeah. Shall we crack a bit off and have a bit on a cracker?
And then are we going to have some cheese?
Yeah, but I often like to... Do you know what? I always masturbate before a meal. I always masturbate before a meal.
Every meal?
It just breaks the tension. Every meal. 3 times
lunch?
a day.
What about 11s? What about second breakfast?
Always.
For anyone uninitiated, that was Lord of the Rings reference. Merry and Pippin.
Open it from this end because I don't really want the big thick end. Make that what you will. That's what she said.
This is just filled with innuendos.
There's a little bit.
Speaking of like food and innuendos,
you can't really smell it.
Let's keep it a little bit topical while we're eating. A little bit.
Sure.
The Gino De Campo stuff. Oh, it does smell a little bit.
What was he like exposing himself or something?
Well, I think he's been cancelled. Like it's gone quiet, but it was like maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
He got called out for I think like doing naughty stuff off set and like being inappropriate with women, and so like that's not good. There's no excuse for that, obviously. But that is sort of what they created with him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think it's a little bit. Look,
they
you can't be inappropriate.
They encourage that persona.
But like, they had him cook on TV naked.
Yeah, they encourage that persona.
Do you know, and like, they had Holly Willoughby and all the women of the country, because he's a good-looking bloke, like thirsting after him, and his whole image was this sexed-up Italian man. Like, he was on I'm a Celeb, and he's like, the thing I can't wait to go and do is basically bang my missus.
Yeah.
Like, the minute I get out.
Yeah, no, they fully encouraged it, and then told him off for it. No, you do it.
I'm going straight in. I mean, I think we're going to like this.
I'm not getting a lot of chili.
I think it'll be on the back end.
Do you think?
No, that's all right, actually.
It's just like a sweet cheddar.
There's a little warmth.
Tiny little taste of chili.
I mean, you're going red.
That just might be from being outside.
Okay, fair enough.
I went for my 1.5-hour walk today. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. I actually think, I mean, that's nicer than the sandwich spread, but I don't think that's a...
I think
A
I
high
prefer the
bar.
sandwich spread.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that cheese was maybe something like a pastrami in a roll or a sandwich.
Or a little charcuterie board. You know, little cold meats and some
olives,
of that.
pickled onions.
I mean, I don't do olives or pickled onions.
What? Why not?
Don't like the brine. I don't like the...
See, I like the tang.
I don't like the tang.
I love the tang. We went to a Greek restaurant nearby recently, and it was actually really nice. And they did...
What were you expecting? You said that like you were expecting it to be dreadful.
Well, no, when you're going somewhere new, you don't know
You don't.
how good it's going to be. And it was it wasn't like an everyday restaurant. It only opened like Thursday, Friday,
Okay,
Saturday.
yeah.
Rest of the week it did catering. But when it did open, it was for pre-booked. And it was like an event. There was Greek dancing and smashing plates and all that jazz. So you're always like, is it going to be more about the experience and less about the food? But actually the food was really good.
I must say, I really love the last time I was in Greece last summer, and I had a lovely little meal on the top of a hill. I had a feta salad, and then I had a moussaka.
Oh, moussaka. The best Greek dish for me is kleftiko.
Yeah.
Just a lamb stew
Like
that's
they
been
do
cooked all day.
They do some lovely food, and this is the thing. Like the Mediterranean diet,
Isn't that bad?
got some
But
help.
you do
to it.
need to eat the salad. I was just more into the meat.
Understandable. I did think, should I bring some salad, just based on
I mean, you
old,
could have.
on an old joke.
I can eat it. I'm just not going to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
But I didn't. I went away from that.
Give me a bit more cheese. Give me another cracker.
You want
and a
another
more
little bit of cheese?
Yeah, why not? Let's live a little bit. We're only 15 minutes in, mate. We've got time to kill.
So basically, this is just going to become our feast.
Yeah, well, that's basically what we're doing. You said last week that you don't use AI or anything, but we didn't really discuss why.
That's we're jumping into that.
Well, yeah, I think we can chat while
I think, on principle, because I think generally AI is being used for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
I think it's being used to create art predominantly, rather than doing manual labour and letting us humans do the art. So I don't like that aspect
Well,
of
and
it.
it's also being used to get rid of jobs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Can I have a cracker as well? You've just given me
of course you
cheese.
can. Give you the box. So yeah, I think there's that, and then I think also it's like super environmentally unfriendly.
Oh, totally.
So like I said, I read a thing that if you use ChatGPT, I'm well aware that's one AI website, but it's probably one of the most predominant ones. But
Yeah,
where
one of the
people
more famous.
where people will ask ChatGPT a question, it burns 6 times as much energy than if you were to Google that question.
Yeah.
So but I don't know. I don't like it. Plus, I think I don't trust it because AI can be quite easily manipulated by the right people, and in today's world of misinformation and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, also I did use AI a little bit when I was training, because I would use Bing's auto search thing. You know, it will tell you if you Google something on Bing, which is a weird phrase.
I don't think I've ever used Bing.
It's only because that was what the computer came with, and I couldn't be bothered to download anything else.
That
So if you
sounds totally wrong.
Googled something on Bing,
Yeah, it's not spicy at all, by the way.
the first thing it comes up with is like its AI summary of what you Google in.
Okay.
And I would look at that and go through that. But the
You can
problem
get that
was,
on Google now.
yeah, but the problem was, and I've done it with Google as well, and the problem is it's littered with inaccuracies.
Really?
So once you go to more credible sources, so I was looking up obviously all these facts about cities, about buildings, about people, and once you actually go to more credible websites, like the websites dedicated to it, for example, and there's just so many inaccuracies in there.
Interesting.
So yeah, you got to be really careful, and you can tell sometimes when, and that's why I'm surprised. I'm not surprised teachers can spot it a lot of the time. So like when we were doing our talks, our spiels on training, you can tell who's used AI
Oh, really?
because they're getting the information that I already know to be
False.
false.
Yeah.
and there'll be a few of them that slipped in. I'm like,
Yeah, and the people doing the
See, I
training
know
are
that.
going to know, aren't they? Fair enough.
they know their stuff, 100%.
I think it was Brian Cox I heard talking about AI, and he was like, in his opinion,
I'm going for more salad.
sandwich spread.
spread.
Oh no, I'm not going for any more of that. That was grim. Well,
What
it
a
wasn't
lovely-
grim.
a lovely
It wasn't
picnic.
grim. You should have had that with the cheese.
I'm happy to try it.
But yeah, Brian Cox was like, it will.
Would you like more cheese?
No, I'm all right, thank you. I think it was Brian Cox that was like, it will depend on basically how positive AI is for us, or negative will be based off of who it is that programs it.
Yeah. I agree.
And that if it's an optimistic person that thinks AI can be a useful tool rather than a solution, then it can be a positive effect for society.
I think that's a nice way to look at it. A lot of people see it as
Yeah.
a solution.
And I think personally, like, some of the greatest things that have happened to our, and things that have been done by human beings, are because we dabble in the arts, we dabble in culture, we dabble in expanding our minds and our horizons. And if we start relying on things like AI to do our thinking for us, we're going to lose what got humanity to this point. Like, I've watched biopics and documentaries about people like Steve Jobs, and a big driving force of him getting his life together and founding Apple and things like that came from doing psychedelics and the visions he experienced, and then it led him to actually move away from that stuff, but to still be creative and create new things. Now, look, he was a bit of a scummy wanker, but I feel like, yeah, I'm just worried AI will steal that from us.
I don't want to consume AI art. Art
And the thing
isn't-
is, at the moment, you can spot it a mile away most of the time,
Yeah.
can't you? But we're not far
but
off.
art
of
is an
not being
expression
able
of the
to do
soul.
that. Yeah.
So if a musician's gone in and laid down a beat, or if an artist, a painter, has gone and put some colours on a canvas,
Yeah.
I want to see that because I want to connect with the person behind it. I don't want to see something
To be
that a computer's made up, because I genuinely believe that all the artistic stuff is the fun stuff. It's what makes life worth living.
yeah. No,
So
I
I
agree
think
with
that
you.
AI should be there to help us do more of that.
Yeah.
Like you said, ultimately that does come at the risk of jobs a lot of the time.
Well, and I think sadly, because we live in a capitalist world, that it will be what it's used for.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
used to drive profits and make rich people richer.
And it's also, like I said, because it's still in its relative infancy, it's littered with mistakes.
Yeah.
It's really not good at doing what it does at the moment.
And do you know what always worries me when something like this comes out that could be so damaging and potentially dangerous? Like, at the most ridiculous end, it could lead to a Terminator-style Armageddon world in a
Sure.
really doomsday scenario, if we want to put our tinfoil hats on for a moment. Or it could be used as a tool to figure out, I don't know, deep problems, and like whether they're scientific ones, like,
Well, the use in medicine,
yeah, like all sorts of
I'm all for.
fields it could be used for if it's at the right level. But yeah, it just worries. And when you hear stuff like Google came out once and were like, oh, we didn't really want to make AI, but we don't want to miss out.
We had to compete in the market.
Yeah, and you're like, that's just such the wrong. Like, I always feel like it's a bit like with the nuclear bomb. I feel like they should have at one moment had a discussion and be like, look, we can do this,
Also,
but should we? Do
and
you know what I mean?
again, this is like worst case scenario. This is, Terminator style
Yeah.
scenario in a very extreme way. But my other thing is that, one of the great, brilliant things about humanity is innovation.
Totally.
It's our ability to come up with solutions sometimes to problems that don't even exist. And it's brilliant and it's wonderful and it's a fantastic side of humanity and human nature. But sometimes it feels like AI is the final innovation, because from now on we're going to rely on AI for our
Yeah,
innovation
to find a solution
rather
for
than
everything.
finding yeah.
Yeah.
So again, like, it goes back to the Brian Cox thing, using it as a solution rather than as a tool. But
Yeah.
rather than coming up with this fantastic way forward or around a problem, we just go to AI and go fix this problem.
Yeah.
And I think it robs us, and I think we got to be very careful. Again, I'm being extremist, but I think if we're not careful, then 2, 3, 4 generations down the line, and I'm trying to be realistic with my timelines here, saying a generation happens once every 20 years or so, 3, 4 generations down the line, the generation are going to be a lot dumber because they're going to be a lot more reliable.
Not
they're
unless
not going to
Elon
be
gets
as
chips in their heads.
They're not going to be as creative. They're not going to be as innovative. They're not going to be able to problem solve as well. They're going to be too reliable on this stuff, and I think we've got to be very careful about that.
What I found really interesting. Have you ever seen the film Hidden Figures?
It's the NASA thing.
Yeah. And it was such a good film.
I've seen about half of it on Channel 4.
Really good film. But one of the things I took from it
Octavia
was
Spencer and
as a spoiler, there's a point of the film, because it's a film about America putting men on the moon.
Yeah.
And there was these hidden figures behind it, which were these black women, incredibly talented and
brilliant mathematicians,
that had to force their way into being a part of NASA and being a part of putting men on the moon.
Is that the one with Kevin Costner?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
when she turns up late one day, and it's just the coloured bathroom,
like 4 miles to have a piss.
Yeah. So sorry, I take it back. I've not seen half of it. Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah, and there's a point of the film where the maths from the machine that they're using that's replaced people hasn't quite what there's something wrong with it. It's not quite giving them the answers they're looking for, and they're like, fuck no, we actually need a human being that is capable of doing this maths, working it out and giving us the answer we need. And then they bring her back in after having got rid of her, and she manages to make it work. And
well, also the other danger of AI, while we're on the AI thing, is that it goes the other way, is that, you know, AI obviously takes in information to feed itself and to teach itself, is that if the market's over flooded with AI because everyone's relying on it and using it because either it's fun, it's cool, it's new, whatever, then AI is going to be taking AI-made things to feed itself, and it's taking bad or inaccurate information and pieces to feed itself, and it's growing on shit, so it becomes even worse.
And that's how it snowballs into killing human beings.
Yeah.
Or Matrix. I don't know what would be worse, the Terminator or like a Matrix situation where we're all just in pods. And a bald black man comes round and offers us a pill. Do you know what I mean?
This is so not the direction I thought this was going to go. I never thought we're going to eat and talk AI.
No, but I did think, like, while we're eating, we need to have a chat.
Fill the gap.
We can't just sit here munching.
Well, I've got a fun story to fill the next gap.
Nice. Would you like the next item?
From the fact you said they get progressively worse, like is a strong word.
Now, I can't quite decide for myself which one of these is worse, but I'm going to go for what I think is the worst, or the second worst.
Okay,
rather.
Building to the worst.
So this is something, and I'll be honest, I picked it because of the name and saw what it was afterwards.
Sure.
It's called Gentleman's Relish.
Gentleman's Relish, yes.
And I thought the name was brilliant. It's Patum Pepperium, the Gentleman's Relish. Do you want to know what this is?
Always.
It is...
That might be worse.
Spiced anchovy relish.
I'm not... Can I just preface this by saying I'm not a massive relish fan. I don't really like relish.
I don't know how you open
it. I mean, absolutely superb moment in the pod.
There's no...
We've got
I
this
thought
thing
this would just be a twist. But, fuck.
Is there instructions on it? I'll keep going. Yeah.
It says perfect spread on toast, crackers, or...
Well, we've got toast, crackers, or whatever the third thing was.
There is no instructions on how to open it. Oh, peel to open.
Got it. Yeah, I don't really like relish. I'm definitely going to try it.
I'll tell you what, I heard it's a bit of a wanky thought. Oh, yeah. Well,
now we're there. Now we're cooking with diesel.
All right.
There's a lot of layers to this.
It's much like good for the environment.
It's much like an ogre. There's a number of, can you smell it already?
No, but it just doesn't look nice. This looks worse than the sandwich.
Is it liquidy or solidy?
Solidy.
Oh.
That does not look appetizing.
That looks like an anchovy paste. When I go to Italy...
I can't smell that well,
you can get,
like
in a lot of restaurants, you can get a selection of bruschettas.
Yeah.
Bruschettas. And
bruschetta.
And you get like a garlic one, the classic tomato, and an anchovy one. The anchovy one's always my least favourite. Can I smell it? Oh, you'll pass it over, I'm well aware. Although I need another cracker. Please.
Crackers?
Thank you.
For a cracker?
Cracker for a cracker. My boy.
Now, there's two schools of thoughts to this. Do I have it in one big lump?
Or spread it over the cracker.
But then I've got to eat. No.
No, because then if you don't like it.
Right, there's the gentleman's relish. Would you like my gentleman's relish? Then?
I would love your gentleman's relish.
And there's a knife.
Oh, it smells like. Do you know what it smells like to me?
What?
The litter in a litter tray.
What an advertisement.
Or do you know when you go into
sponsorships coming?
Do you know when you go into a shop?
I would absolutely sell the shit out of gentleman's relish.
When you go into a pet shop, and you just get that general smell of all the cages and the tanks and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what it smells like to me.
Oh,
bro, you've taken
nice,
such a scoop out of that. Can I level with you?
No, come on, you've got to match me. You did a big scoop. No, come on.
No, that's more
what
or less the same. That's more or less.
No, fuck off. Is that the same?
Look. Oh shit. Are you happy now?
The cracker is in the relish. The
now?
cracker is the relish.
Is that satisfactory?
I mean, not really. Mine's double the size of that.
Yeah, but I don't want double the size of that.
Yeah, you do.
Come on. Right.
I'm proud of you. Do you have any like food phobias? Is there anything you won't touch?
This.
I can't wait to see how you react to the next one. By the way,
one of mine is definitely I don't do. Well, I've already said don't do like pickled onions or anything pickled. Don't like the brine of it. I don't like vinegar.
Okay.
Generally, I don't like ketchup. Is the one that
You
people
don't
get.
like ketchup?
No, because people. And I tried. I thought maybe it might be like a younger palate thing. So I thought as I got older, I've tried maybe 2 or 3 times as an adult.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I just genuinely don't like it.
Look, I'm gonna level with you. Should we just put the lid back onto this because I can't see it being something?
We go back in for a second dip.
No, I just can't. Just based off the smell.
Are you going? Wait, before we go, are you going all of that in one bite?
Yeah, boy.
So I've got to put the whole cracker in my whole half cracker in my mouth.
Of course you do. Right. Do you want me to go first?
No, we'll do it. I'll go first because you've gone first on all of them.
Oh.
It's salty. It's so salty. I feel like I've swallowed the ocean. Not my favourite thing.
No.
You can taste the anchovies.
Right. I've never had anchovy.
That's so salty. I have it in, like I said, in the paste. It's so salty. Fuck me. Oh my god, that's horrendous.
I don't like that.
That's so bad.
I'm still chewing.
Oh, and it's like stuck in my teeth. How salty is that? Do you just get that hit of like?
It's
It's not
it
nice.
It tastes like a rabbit hutch.
That's the smell I was trying to go for. That.
I get it now.
Oh. I picked it out of my teeth and ate it.
I need to just swallow this.
That's what she said.
I don't know if I can.
It's bad, isn't it? Are you still sure you could sell the shit out of this?
Why is it a bit crunchy?
Then that might be the cracker.
No, it's not.
So if you had to, do you know what? Can I just say to every actor that's ever eaten something in an advert to sell it, I have the utmost respect for you because there's no way I could eat that with a smile on my face. And if you are listening to this, like I said,
it'd have to be Nutella or something.
You should.
It's like spice.
Ideally, you should be on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube. Like if you're not on YouTube, go on YouTube. Look at the timestamp it. Go back a couple of minutes
and watch. So bad.
Watch us eat it. Particularly this man opposite me. That's horrendous. But whoever makes it, will that be going in the cupboard?
It's going in the fucking bin, mate.
Burn it. No, because then that might smell.
As you said, it's still on my teeth. I've got bad teeth. It's sticking.
I'm trying to use.
Just give me some cracker.
I'm trying to use the Pepsi Max to like.
Oh, it lingers.
It's not nice.
Oh, I hate myself.
That's not nice, and that's the second worst. Potentially.
I'm really not looking forward to the last one now.
And you know what it is.
Yeah.
Shall I bring out something a bit nicer?
Please do.
Do you know what?
Oh,
what a show for YouTube. Just blown my nose.
well, I did have a wanky thought. It's not my wanky thought. I've heard other people talk about it.
Sure.
Talking about innovation and creation and stuff. That some people believe, Because quite often it's a eureka moment, isn't it? Someone has like a brainwave, something just pops into their head and they have inspiration for something.
Yeah.
So some people feel like people who are capable of doing that are like, they think for someone to think it up, it has to have existed
Before. Yeah, there's no such thing as a new idea. That's
so
the theory.
they've pulled it from somewhere. They can connect to
Hell.
this thing and...
They've pulled that from hell.
What? Gentleman's relish?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, it's so much worse than I thought it would be.
That, if I was a child, would be an effective deterrent. Like if my mum or dad said to me,
Who likes anchovies?
I'm going to force you to eat that if you're naughty,
I'd behave.
I would never ever misbehave again in my life.
They were like, you've got to use that for toothpaste tonight if you misbehave.
Yeah, I would never ever misbehave ever. I'm going to give you something to wash it down with because I've got a drink here that's a bit different because it's like.
Do I need glasses?
No, you don't need glasses.
No, do we need glasses?
Oh, to drink it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant like reading glasses.
No, mate.
I don't know why that was in my head.
You said drink.
This is the problem with the
glasses.
fucking English language and all the multiple uses for words.
Not really. You mentioned
Any
a drink.
language.
I said, do I need glasses? And your response was, no, mate.
How bad your eyesight is. Right, so this is Pepsi,
Oh.
strawberries and cream flavour.
Oh, I'm going to hate this already.
So it's just
I mean, I'm going to
something-
prefer it to fucking
That
gentleman's relish.
At least if anyone ever says, have you tried gentleman's relish? And they don't mean it as a
I can
euphemism.
say all types now.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells
Sweet.
fucking sweet
It's
as
very
fuck.
sweet.
Oh, Jesus. Leanne would love this. I mean, it's
I
not...
kind of like it. It's all right.
Yeah, it's like a cream soda, basically, isn't it?
That's exactly the vibe I got. Cream soda with a hint of Pepsi.
Yeah.
Don't know where there's a little bit of strawberry, I
Yeah,
suppose.
not much, though. Not much. That's not... Do you know what? That has sort of cleared some of the saltiness is ridiculous.
It's so salty. It's like...
A little goes a long way.
Like, honestly, I've consumed a considerable amount of seawater in my life.
Yeah.
But shit, I reckon we could just eat salt and it wouldn't be as salty as that. That's so bad.
It's awful.
And it's like, you get it straight away. There's no delayed reaction.
Yeah.
There's no you have to take a bite. As soon as that hits your tongue, salt.
Yeah.
Overload of salt.
See, for me, it was the midpoint when I'd let it melt in my mouth a little bit.
Mm.
And that was when I was like, yeah.
As soon as I'd had it,
I
was
think
like,
I'm going to burp later and get a... Oh,
I'll tell you where that would be good if you owned a bar, right? Because everyone gets drunk.
To wake up the drunk people.
No, you have that. Give that out on crackers and stuff as like a bar snack.
They'll fuck off.
They're going to want to drink more.
Oh,
And they're going to be buying
I
more.
get where you're at.
To wash out
My
the
tongue
fucking
was a little bit
horrendous
numb
flavour.
after that, isn't it? Mine's a little bit...
I wish mine was.
That just wasn't good.
Not pleasant.
But what do you think about like the manifesting stuff?
What do you mean?
Like people, like, do you think there's any credence to that idea that someone could be pulling inspiration from somewhere subconsciously?
Yeah, I think there's a certain element of truth to that.
I'm quite surprised to hear you say that. I thought you'd be like, no, a load of nonsense, mate. They've just come up with an idea.
No, I think it's very hard to get your head around, but there is, like I said, there's this theory that nothing is new.
Yeah.
It's something that's already seen or existed that we've consumed before. So there's no new shapes. Every shape is a variation of something we've already seen. There's no new colours. There's no new... Do you know what I mean? Everything is...
Well, it's like
exists.
someone said all the potential compositions of music have already been made or something. And I
Well,
was
there's only so many notes.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if you do
And I was
jazz and you
like-
borrow from about 4 different keys.
as Ed Sheeran knows famously.
Yeah. As we
Not jazz
discussed last
music,
week.
but-
Or the week
Go back
before.
and listen to that episode. It was amazing.
I'll tell you a fun story just
Go
in
on.
between courses.
Oh, luckily I burped then and I tasted cream rather than
Thank God.
gentleman's
Right.
relish.
So I'm going to go...
And by the way, I would have sandwich spread for breakfast, lunch and dinner if it was between the two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So this is maybe a story that you've seen and you've heard.
Need to blow my
So
nose.
it's from the Bulgarian top flight. So it's sport related. So Arda Karzali, and I've probably butchered that, so I'm sorry to all my Bulgarians and Eastern Europeans. In their top flight game against Levski Sofia,
Okay.
I can get Sofia right at least. Before the game, they had a minute silence for former player Petko Ganchev.
Right.
Uh,
They had a what, sorry?
They had a minute silence
Okay.
for Petko
He's dead,
Ganchev.
I'm assuming.
No,
Oh.
they thought he was. And the club tweeted sometime into the second half, apologising on social media, saying that they'd been, quote unquote, misinformed. So they held a minute silence for a bloke that absolutely was not dead. It's quite a balls up.
It is.
It's like rather than checking on it, someone says to him passing.
Accidentally getting the Ross moment in Friends. Like Ross chose to pretend to be dead just to see if people liked it.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy got to see that, and it wasn't his fault.
No.
So
No.
it's a good eye opener, isn't it? Like seeing which one of your friends are genuinely upset,
Which
and
one
which
of your-
one's like, oh,
Which
thank
one of your
fuck.
former clubs?
Is your wife sad or happy? Do you know what I mean?
Actually, if you're sitting next to your wife and she's just like, what?
She's like, yes! Oh, fuck, he's here.
Suddenly he comes out the bedroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of them where someone said it in passing to the social, to like one of the people at the club going, oh, do you hear about old Petco? They go, no, all right, bloody
Well,
hell, yeah, we'll do a
wouldn't
minute
you-
silent. You check.
Yeah.
You check.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh my God, like, because you'd be like, we want to pay tribute to his family.
You ring his
let's get
family,
in
you go,
touch
we're
with-"
really sorry we heard about what happened.
And as we said, the wife would be sat next to him going, well, he's fine, mate, he's right next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, they probably not got that much money. They might not have a lot of admin stuff. They just saw it and went, yeah, sounds good.
Should we continue our picnic?
Whose turn is it?
Yours. I've just got something nice to end on. I think it might be a
Alright,
shorter
we'll
episode this week, but I'm fine with
We'll
that. If
save
it does
that.
end
Oh,
up
I mean,
being
I've
that way.
still got some subjects we can talk about if we've still got a
Venture
bit
off.
of time.
Or should we drag it out? Should we keep talking?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, we'll do a little bit more.
What do you want
talking.
to talk about?
Or do you have things to talk about? Or can we clarify, by the way, so we mentioned a few episodes back, we did a rip as Gene Hackman and his family.
Yes, it's been
The
clarified,
mystery
hasn't it?
has been clarified.
Still quite sad though, isn't
It's
it?
even sadder, in all honesty.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it
pretty
is.
harrowing actually.
Yeah. So basically, a very key point of this mystery is that Gene Hackman had been living for some years with Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
with dementia. And what happened was that his wife, who we know was already trying to book medical appointments for herself,
Yeah.
although she didn't seem in great distress, but there was obviously enough cause for concern there. She passed away, I think pulmonary issues. I think she had a lung problem
Yeah.
quite suddenly. And then what has happened is in the following week, because of his Alzheimer's, and we are speculating a little bit, but the running theory now that it's been clarified more is that he probably was not in the right mental space to feed the dog, which is why the
No.
dog passed away, and he would not have been feeding himself or looking after himself.
Apparently the dog was emaciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dog had starved to death,
Yeah.
most likely.
So it's sadder.
That's fucking
is sadder.
awful. That is such a heartbreaking way to go,
Yeah.
genuinely. And yeah, and it also just shows that you can have success and money, and that you can still.
We're all still human.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
We're all still vulnerable to the same human weaknesses.
And yeah, and if anything, it's almost it feels worse than if it had been like she passed away and then he'd. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, poor bloke, and all of them, the dog, the missus, and him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sad. I mean, that's a really cheery note.
It's sad. I mean, we've always said that Alzheimer's is one of the most horrendous things to see a family member get because they die essentially 3 times.
Yeah, I've always said, like, if I got something like that, I would want to.
You'd want the option of assisted suicide.
Yeah, or I'd take myself off before I started really losing my faculties and choose the moment that was for me. And I just don't. Do you know what terrifies me about it more than anything? Is how much of you is in there. Do you know what like how conscious am I gonna if I was unlucky enough to have one of these diseases?
Often report family members going through spells of
suddenly
being awake and aware and feeling horrible because they know
they suddenly realise what they've lost,
pain that they've caused as well. Yeah, it's horrible. A horrible thing to watch someone go through.
what scares me about it the most is the idea of like I'm in there, but I have zero control over what's going on other than these random flashes of lucidity and so I
prisoner in your own body.
Yeah, and then what your poor family have to go through alongside it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and it's very simplistic for me to say that, you should, just for me personally, I'm not saying this is what anyone else should do, it's what people are comfortable with. I would want to take myself off and, choose my end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you actually think about, like, options for people in that situation, in this country, there aren't really any. So, yeah. But, yeah, nice, cheery story.
Thanks.
Are you ready?
Let me just get rid of that particular note. I have a fun thing to say as well. If you'd like me to
save that for after this.
Okay.
We'll
I also want to
cheering
do. I also want to do a rippers on the pod.
Okay, do you want to do that now? Or?
Yeah, shall we?
Yeah.
I've got to find the sound.
We've tried one of the most disgusting things and not pressed, brother. Ugh.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to bring it back to that.
Oh, disgusting!
So, are you ready?
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Who's this one for?
Rippers to Alex's 7 iron.
7 iron?
Yeah.
Or did he break it?
Yeah. I met him at the driving range the other week, and he literally said, "The head of my 7 iron is somewhere out there."
Was that the only club he
took
brought as well?
No, he did just bring other clubs.
Okay.
But apparently he took a swing with it, and it just flew off into the distance.
Was it a cheap club or?
No, Alex got his as like a set.
Okay.
Mine are all mixed match.
Yeah, I've only got a few, and I'd bought mine from like Sports Direct.
Yeah,
like
charity shop,
that are in
Sports
the
Direct
sale.
are pretty much all of my clubs. I'd
Yeah.
love to get a proper set. I would love to get a
I
proper
don't
set.
play it anywhere near enough.
Nor do
to-
I, but I would love to. I'm the kind of guy that every now and then I do just invest into like a new hobby.
Oh, look, I totally get it. As I told you, I started collecting Pokemon cards, so. Right.
Okay, let me get rid of that note.
The final thing I've brought for
Come
us
on
to
then.
try is caviar.
Caviar, yes, my man.
But-
I've never had caviar.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. It's cheap caviar. I'm not going to lie
It's
to
not
you.
beluga caviar.
Absolutely not. I'm not. The pod does not
Whale
have,
caviar is not a thing.
You hide your wealth famously. Do you know what I mean?
I
Offshore.
do. I do.
Like all good rich people do.
You know, to quote Kevin Hart, I've got the savings and the check-ins. I've got the,
and you've got to move it.
you know,
and that takes
it's
some
just
time
it's the
and,
whole thing.
So you just keep it offshore to save all the
Absolutely,
hassle. Yeah,
absolutely.
and just live off the
I've
interest.
got a lovely bank in Jersey. I've got a lovely bank in Belize, and a lovely one in the Cayman Islands.
Would you agree that this is probably potentially the worst one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
not just
Although having eaten the gentleman's relish, I don't know.
Oh,
I imagine that's going to be salty as well.
yeah, I would have thought so.
Oh, it's tipped a bit. Oh my God!
It smells very similar.
Go to YouTube. That was incredible. It took one sniff and turned away. It's absolute. I'm only upset there's not a camera here
I don't know if I'm going to be...
to catch that.
Do you want to have a
disgust.
sniff before I commit
Probably
to...
not, but I'd probably better. That smells all right.
Oh, okay.
That smells quite sweet.
Oh, it didn't smell sweet to me. For those who
Smells
aren't
a bit
aware,
sushi-ish.
caviar, I believe, is just fish eggs.
Yeah, shall I read it?
Yeah,
This is lumpfish roe.
yeah.
Is the look at all them little lumpfish roes. All them roes in there that are not.
If you're trying to make me eat this, you're going the wrong way about it.
I'm not. I'm trying to sicken you. Okay, well, do you know?
I really don't want to vomit on the podcast.
I need to. Oh, I've got a bit of a cracker. Chuck us a spoon, my man. Let's have a bit. Let's have a bit. Right, how generous are we going?
I've got to say, I'm not. I did think it would go either way with you. That either you'd be really up for trying all of it, or you might be a bit wimpy about it.
How have I been?
No, you've done one of the options. You've been quite chill about it. Okay.
I don't know what a
think I'm
generous
gonna be as
amount is.
generous
I
as
don't know what a generous amount is. Oh,
Don't drop eggs all over my living room.
that's not a sentence I ever thought I'd have to hear. I don't know.
So I put that on the soundboard,
Stick
cut it out, and
Don't drop eggs all over my.
Do you know what I have started watching, speaking of eggs?
What? How the hell is that a link?
What do you mean?
What is this leading to?
I've started watching Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, okay. I did think, what the fuck are you going with,
And
eggs?
you know, look, I don't like Jeremy Clarkson.
No.
But I will say he is entertaining.
I'll show the camera.
And
Come on.
you have picked quite a lot. I can't go this little.
I wish I had have stuck my guns on the gentleman's
Why is
relish,
there
by the way.
liquid?
When you egged me on...
There's black sticky liquid, mate.
I don't know if I got any of that. Oh, but when you egged me on and said you need to put more on because you had more on, I honestly wish I hadn't. I wish I'd have stuck to my guns.
Yeah, you
Well,
should
don't put eggs all over your own living room, mate.
No, look, it's my living room. I can put eggs wherever. Oh, no. I just squashed one and black liquid came out.
Chin Chin, shall I go first or are you going first?
Oh, I've got to be honest, after the gentleman's relish, my tummy's feeling a bit.
Queasy? Is it feeling a bit? Well, I'm going to go
Just
because
in
mine's
case.
kind of on the edge.
What are we saying?
I quite like it. It's salty.
I think if
Not as saucy as the relish.
if I have it with all of the cracker, that will mask a lot of the...
I quite
It's-
like it.
Does it burst?
No.
Okay.
Well, I just did it in one go. As I often do, as is my style. I didn't hate that.
I don't often get
I'm
nervous
really
about
glad I've been
food.
able to tick
in
some of
my
these
head,
off my list.
I was less nervous about
the relish.
the relish than I was...
And then you had the relish and you thought this is still to come.
And that's now made my tummy go a bit...
I didn't mind that. It's in. For our YouTube viewers, you will see that this is not going well. It's got a kind of sushi bar taste to it for me. Oh my God, are you actually going to be throw up? It's making you gag? You just nod. You can do it. Come on, bro. I believe in you. I've seen you put worse things in your mouth on nights out. I've been on a stag do with you.
Mate,
Do you want to spit it out?
doing it for the pod.
You're a trooper. Does this reflect your feelings somewhat?
Brother,
What's
Big time.
that? Why, brother?
Brother.
Right, I think I'm over the worst of it. Oh. I nearly went then.
Really? I can see you are genuinely struggling.
I'm making it worse by keeping it in my mouth.
Whereas for me, most of the foods today, I'm kind of like,
Mama like that. Mama like that.
brother,
No, I'm gonna have to do.
you're going to have to drink it down. It's an interesting episode. That's worse, isn't it? That's worse, that combination.
Oh, but it got it down. I don't actually think I could have. I was really. It was sat on my tongue, and the longer it was sat on my tongue,
I could be someone who eats caviar, I think. I could rub shoulders with the
the better
poshest.
stuff would have to be so much better than that.
beluga stuff.
I actually don't think I could. Having tasted that, now look, this cost £3,
That's not bad for a little jar of caviar, actually.
and plus I got discount, so it cost less than £3. So I wasn't expecting to enjoy that, and
Chuck it over, I'm going to have another one.
are you for real? Fucking, you mate, if you want to take that home,
And it's no.
oh, do you reckon your parents might want some sandwich spread?
No.
I just don't want it to go to waste.
I don't think I know anyone who wants sandwich bread.
But you liked it. Do you want to take it home?
Yeah, it was all right. I wouldn't have it again. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I wouldn't choose it. But if it was there,
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm fucking glad that's over.
has it lived up to your expectations, do you think,
I knew
for an
I-
episode?
Yeah, no, look, I've
I
enjoyed
mean, listening
it.
back, the proof will be in the pudding.
I'm glad we've chatted as well. I think it'd have been over really quickly if we'd have just rattled through the food, if you know what I mean. Can't believe you've gone for
Kind
a
of just tastes like
second.
white fish a little bit,
No, that was fucking
but
horrible.
saltier. Can I be honest?
I'm not a...
Not as nice the second go round.
No.
Still okay. You're not.
There's, you couldn't off. Yeah, I wouldn't touch that again. Yeah.
I think I could rub shoulders with like the poshest posh and eating the caviar. But my problem is, I blow my cover if someone brings around some of that gentleman's relish. I wouldn't be able to help myself and tell you can fuck right
I've
off.
got to tell you, I don't think the upper classes are eating gentleman's relish.
But it's got the word gentleman in the name.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how it works.
It should.
Oh,
Now I'd like to try some beluga caviar.
I don't. I'm alright. I've watched it being harvested.
I thought you can say made. I was like, bro.
No, I know.
What?
They literally cut a fish open
Yeah.
and it's just full of eggs, and they farm them to be pregnant with eggs, and they're massive fish as well.
Well, I was going to say we've had a lovely picnic. We've had a picnic,
Yeah.
and it's not over.
I hope you've
I've
got
got-
something really good.
It's sweet. It's something sweet. It's something just a confectionery thing that's,
Okay.
again, another potentially limited edition thing.
I also got us chocolate fingers
Yes, I saw that. We
in
can
case
still
we
eat some
wanted to
chocolate
wash
fingers.
some food away.
Yeah.
That was fucking awful.
Yeah, I my little fun one to tell you was that I appreciate the last in-between conversation was a bit down. Important,
Yeah.
but down. Cruz Beckham, one of the Beckham children.
Which one? Which one's Cruz?
Middle one, second
Was he
eldest.
the ex-footballer?
I think so. He's releasing some music. He's turning to music.
Okay.
I'm not saying it might not be bad. I don't know. I was going to find a snippet of it so we could play it on
Okay.
there, but I didn't.
Oh.
I forgot. I can do it now if you want.
Yeah, you might have to send it to me though.
But here's where I'm at, right? So someone like speaking about it said, yeah, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, the fact that he had a big leg up from his parents being like a Nepo baby thing.
Yeah.
And his response was to say, well, Jesus was a Nepo baby. Pretty
Got a
good.
point.
It's pretty good. But I don't know whether is he comparing himself to Jesus in that analogy?
I think he's just doing what a lot of people do where they go to the extreme.
You panic, you go, yeah.
The thing is, like, it's look, he's in a very privileged position, right? But it's not uncommon for children of extremely successful people to struggle, to live an unproductive life, to not find a passion and end up feeling stuck in their parents' shadow. So it is a difficult position to be in as well, and there's no industry he could go into. Do you want me to disconnect from the soundboard?
No, you keep it. I'll send it to you. Can you send it to yourself? Oh, do you know what? I'm just going to copy the link and send it to you on WhatsApp.
But yeah, there's no industry he could have gone into where people weren't like, well, you're a Nepo baby and you've had help. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%. And famously, Beckham, Brooklyn tried to do like a million things and be bad at them. Although I've got a lot of respect for just jumping from career to career. Very much how I would live. I think I should have been a Nepo baby. Like that thing of just bouncing around and never settling down on one career path.
The thing is, and there's
never
also,
being good at any of them.
You can be a Nepo baby,
Me all
but
over.
be good at what you do. Like Zoe
Quaid.
Kravitz
Jack Quaid.
has made a successful acting career for herself.
I really like Jack Quaid. I've said him like 4 times.
Which one's Jack Quaid?
He's in The Boys. He's Huey.
Oh, is that Dennis Quaid's son?
Yeah.
Fair play. I have no idea about that. But again, good actor.
The thing is, right, this has always been my thing with not even Nepo babies, just in life in general.
Mm.
And I had this conversation earlier in the week, and I'm more than happy to repeat it now. I'm not saying that people didn't have to be talented and work hard to get where they are.
Yeah.
But so often when you get a leg up or an opportunity or a thing, for example, for a lot of people, it's starting a bit higher up on the ladder than everyone else.
Yeah.
Or it's an open door into an industry that's otherwise closed to most people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're not hardworking or talented.
But you've had.
But I want people to acknowledge when they've had that little bit of help. So we
I think
know
that's
someone.
happening more,
I remember the first time I really lost my mind over it. 'Cause we have a mutual acquaintance
Okay.
who got a job because their friend worked at the company.
Okay.
And I just sort of said, and it was at the time, so we would have been about 19, 20. So it was a time when I was at uni, but really struggling for jobs. I was like, I was just applying here, there, and everywhere and getting nothing.
Yeah.
They got this job because their friend worked there. And I just remember saying, like, you know, just saying, like, flat out, you got it because so-and-so works there.
Yeah.
And they went, no, I got it because I'm really good and I'm really hard work. I'm like, I'm not saying you're not, but if they weren't working there,
yeah. You wouldn't
I
even
can't say
known
that
to
you would have
applied for that job.
yeah,
either.
you might have applied for it, you might have got it anyway, but having that person there
Was an
a
advantage.
huge,
Yeah.
huge help.
Yeah.
I said, and I'm not saying you're not good, and I'm not saying you're not hardworking,
Yeah.
but you 100% got that job,
Yeah.
and just this person would not acknowledge it. They were like, no, that person working there has nothing to do with it, and
Yeah,
it really wound me up. I'm like, look, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it's nothing against, like I said, you still be talented, you still be hardworking, all that stuff. But I really just want people to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever got anywhere from knowing
I
someone,
think more people that are really successful.
yeah,
like,
right at the top.
I think they do tend to. Like, there's a comedian I like called Grace Campbell, daughter of Alistair Campbell. And she's very open about the fact she probably wouldn't have made, like, the initial success she had was because people wanted to see what Alistair Campbell's daughter had to say.
Yeah.
And she said, and then my ability to create new material was what's
But
kept them.
I got that
But
first.
I wouldn't have got that first bump. And she said, I might have still got to this level, but it would have taken me a hell of a lot longer to get there. There's another comedian I like called Elliot Steele. He's a youngish.
I really like Elliot Steele and his dad.
I don't really know his dad.
Mark
Maybe
Steele.
if I saw him. But he's not someone off the top of my
He
head.
does
I
a
know.
wonderful series on Radio 4 where he picks a town, like a random town, and then he gets locals to send urban myths, urban legends, facts and stuff about that town, and just does like a weird, unique deep dive on a place. Really, really good.
But he was open about the fact, like, I got jobs at comedy clubs
Because your dad,
because my dad was Mark Steele. And he said, and I was like, if I can start off earning a little bit of money and then earning my place and putting the work in, and he said, like, I still had shit gigs. I still showed up and absolutely tanked it, got no laughs. He said, and one of them was so bad I came home the next morning, I tell Dad, and he was like, look, this is the moment where you decide
whether it's for you.
Yeah, because he was like, this isn't going to be the only time this happens, and you can be at the top of your game and this happens, and it's whether you have it in you to
get back up. And
he said, you're going to have to go back to that club again tomorrow night, and you're going to have to look all those people in the face that watched you just absolutely stink the gaff out, and you've got to be all right with it, and you've got to be able to do that, but turn it around and put on a good performance. So you can absolutely be a nepo baby that's talented and hardworking, but you have to be able
to sustain a career and making it. But you've still got to put the work in.
Yeah.
But just getting there.
And also,
like Schwarzenegger's son is currently denying that he had a leg up. And it's like, if
Who
you
is his? What's his son
so
up
he's
to?
in the latest series of White Lotus. He's one of the main characters.
Of course. So like he wouldn't have.
But my thing with Schwarzenegger in particular, with this, I think his son's called Patrick. I was like, if you really wanted to try and distance yourself and go, I'm doing it because of me, not because of my you'd pick a stage name. You wouldn't have Schwarzenegger as your last name.
No, of course
it's like
would.
a really fucking identifiable name.
Yeah.
So if you really wanted to go, it's got nothing to do with my dad, I'm making it on my own
But
because
also,
I can.
part of me respects more being, like, if he did just go, I'm a Schwarzenegger, I've got my foot in the door because of who my dad is, but I'm going to fucking earn my place.
But that's not what he's done.
No, fair enough. Yeah. But, like, I would, I'd just far more respect the, like, no, you'll see
and
what I
he's
can
sort
do.
of said, like, no, I got, it's a common line from a lot of people, that whole thing of, no, I got here because I put in the hours, I worked hard, I did my fair share of bad auditions.
Your dad got you,
and he's like, I got,
foot in the door.
He's like, I did more than my fair share of rejected auditions and stuff, but you can't tell me that your last name is Schwarzenegger did not help you get those auditions, and
Well, like, having heard Daniel Radcliffe's story, for example, I would argue he's a nepo baby. His mum and dad were both industry producers at the time he became Harry Potter, and if you listen to the story of how he became Harry Potter, He hadn't even been seen for the role.
Yep.
They were struggling to find Harry, and he was at the theatre one night with his parents, and they happened to run into the man who was running
Yeah.
the project at the time. And they saw him and went, oh, and he's
been in
acted
this.
before. And like, yeah, so like he obviously did all right as a kid before that, but the reason he got the job of Harry Potter, if his parents weren't who they were, they wouldn't have been at the theatre that night. That they wouldn't have known who that guy was, and he wouldn't have just walked up to some random kid and been like, I want you to be Harry Potter. And if you think of how many children they would have seen.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
the
mean?
open auditions were not
And like,
building.
even Jack Whitehall, who apparently was one of the other, like, he was
Front runners,
front runners
apparently.
to become Harry Potter. His dad is also an agent in Hollywood and in, like, performing in general. So,
It's really like the entertainment industry more than any is such a closed circuit. The
Yeah.
more and more you find out that people behind the scenes and in front of the camera, behind the camera and in front of the camera, you find out that actually their parents
yeah,
or their uncle or some familiar relation was in the industry.
yeah.
It's so upsetting. And the fact that it's like, I can't remember the exact number, but it's fewer than 20% are working class, like genuinely working class
Yeah.
in the industry. And even of those, a chunk of them will have been.
Well,
It's such a
the thing
close
is,
thing.
it's a difficult thing, and it's funny, me and my mum were actually talking about, like, the acting culture and the theatre culture in our country, because it creates over and over and over again a conveyor belt of incredible character actors that are used all over the world to portray all sort, like, it's famous American actors hate British actors because they're so fucking good, and that in big Hollywood productions an American company will go, well, actually, how about we get this British actor in because he can do a really fucking good American accent and is better than what we've got available over here. So, like, we produce, but yeah, it's a high, but to get to that level normally you would have had to have gone to a prestigious acting school, and like, yeah, some of them do come from working class, but as you said, it's a very, very small minority.
Particularly behind the camera, like writing.
Yeah,
There are no working class. And I think that's part of the reason is sometimes portrayal of quote unquote working class people is always a caricature.
yeah.
There are so few.
Because there's no one in the room that actually relates to those
And obviously
people.
it depends whether you're doing a comedy or a drama, the kind
Yeah.
that you portray. But from things like Shameless, which is kind of a comedy drama,
Yeah,
like the portrayal's not terrible, but it's like
I think
it's also not
with
great.
Shameless in particular, that I think that is intended to be an extreme caricature.
Yeah, absolutely. But there are
But no,
so
definitely
few
in other stuff you will
good
see.
portrayals of working class
Yeah.
families or working class people.
Yeah,
They're always either criminals, druggies,
yeah, or on the dole, or
on the dole, on the
council
tape,
estate.
all this doing offhand stuff.
Yeah.
Or, I would say like Royal Family is probably one of the best examples that I can think of.
I
of
never
working
really
class.
watched it.
No,
to
and
be
I'm-
honest.
It's fine. Like I enjoy it, but I would never say it's. But it is like just a nice.
It's seen as like a British institution.
It's just
isn't it?
it's a nice representation. It's just people that love each other, and they're not the most ambitious. I think is
Yeah.
the biggest crime of them. They're not like, that hyacinth bouquet thing where it's like, oh, I'm working class, but I really want to be. But they're happy with their lot in life.
Yeah,
And it's one of the only things that I've seen that really portrays. And I think it's because Caroline Aherne was from a more working class background, so she was
Yeah.
able to accurately portray.
well, some of
And
like
Craig, I can't think of his name.
some of the most like loved films and TV shows in this country come from someone who came from the background that they're portraying. Now, look, I can't remember. Is it Noel Clarke? I know he's a very controversial figure,
Yes,
but his early films were almost like,
a breath of fresh air.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's because he comes from that background and interacted with those people. So when he writes them, he can write rich characters and stories.
Well, do you know what?
Turns out a bit of a scumbag.
Off the Noel
but-
Clarke thing, though, in terms of black kids from South London or North London, but I'm
Yeah.
focused on South London because it's closer to home for me. Like black kids in South London are nearly always presented on screen in the same way
yeah,
because they're not being written by black kids from South London, and it's like anyone from an ethnically diverse background. It's it goes back to when Family Guy spoke about why Meg is portrayed the way she is on Family Guy,
yeah,
and one of the writers turned around and said it's because we're a bunch of
blokes in a row.
20, 30-year-old men who have no lived experience of being a teenage girl, so
No.
we don't know how to write for a teenage girl.
Yeah.
So we write her this way. But as much as that's funny and that's worked well for them, it does speak of a wider issue. There are lots of people that are being underrepresented because they're being portrayed by people who don't know them. They don't
And
know
don't
their
understand
voices.
them, no.
They don't know the struggles. They don't know the joys either when they want to celebrate them. They don't know how to celebrate them properly.
No.
So yeah, it's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Would you like me to bring out something, the
Yeah.
last?
I would say so.
This is something I don't think you'll like, actually, now I've thinking
I think
about
I know
it.
what it is. Is it Milky Bar Raspberry Ripple?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen these at work.
I've not had them.
I think they'll be all right. I'm not the biggest Milky Bar guy. You tear the top.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like that way?
No, sideways.
Like that?
Yeah. You should do it that way. There should be a tear me here.
There is a Temmie there. I just wasn't looking properly.
Yeah,
Shock.
checks out.
Shock. Stick that on there.
No,
Got to
look,
help yourself.
after the shit we've... Yeah, try and keep it away from the eggs,
I
though.
don't know if I can.
All right, mate, give it a shake. And then give me the sweets.
Shake it once, that's fine. Shake it twice, that's okay.
Shake it 3 times. You're
Playing
playing
with
with yourself. Come on.
Do 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 do.
What song is that?
It's Good Charlotte.
Oh, is it Anthem?
The anthem, yeah, anthem.
This is the anthem from our hands. We should start a band.
I'd be up for that.
I was upset when I found out you were in one. Although I should clearly
It
be
was
the front man.
it was very short lived. The drummer stole most of our stuff.
And then when I found out you chose a woman,
Drummer
it was
stole,
quite nice actually.
drummer stole all of our stuff. No joke.
Was everyone trying to fuck her?
No. The drummer, who is this like middle aged dude, they're not terrible.
I actually
Oh,
quite
okay.
like them.
You definitely get raspberry.
Yeah.
And it actually tastes of raspberry, like, you know, when you get flavoured.
Mm. They'd probably go all right in if you had like a sundae of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of them, a few sprinkled on top or mixed in.
Yes. I'd be 100% up for that.
I think it would complement it well.
I just think it would go with some sandwich bread.
I mean, by all means,
Yeah,
go
right.
ahead, mate.
What was it? Oh, yeah, no, the drummer was like Smith. And he had this like summer house / studio. It wasn't a studio, but it was like a rehearsal space. So I had his drum kit in it. It had a little bar in it. And it was like he had this setup. You could just plug in and play.
Yeah.
And this was really good. So, but we took mic stands. I think he might have had the microphones.
Okay.
Might have brought one microphone, like a second microphone. It was like the mic stand and the microphone. One of the other guys brought a guitar down with him and sort of left it there because it was like, well, we'll be, you know, because we
did he
did.
try and
Well, we
keep
did
the
like
guitar?
well, we did like a few weeks in a row, and like solidly getting together and jamming. I love that, by the way, just playing with other people. It's so,
Yeah.
and I genuinely hit a couple of dud notes halfway through a song. So I was like, I can't believe we're making that sound. I can't believe that's us. So I had to
you came out of yourself.
I
for a
had to just
moment.
fuck up to be like, no, that is me. I can, because I'm like, I don't even know if I can hear myself. This is sounding a bit too smooth, and I'm not good. And then you fuck, and you're like, no, that is me. Like, oh shit,
No,
this
you're
is amazing.
decent with a guitar,
This is
mate.
amazing. I'm not, but I appreciate the.
No,
the compliment.
we've jammed together once, and I thought you were quite
So
good.
yeah.
You're far better than me.
And then we kind of like, he kind of started to get a bit patchy. Be like, I think he had social anxiety or something. But
Okay.
I'm making a lot of excuses for him. He'd be like, oh, I'm ill. My wife's ill, whatever. So then, you know, rather than being every week, it was like we'd go 2,
Once a
3
month
weeks.
or-
And then that happened a couple of times. And then we just never saw him again. Never got invited around. But the dude left his guitar there. I left all the mic stands and stuff were all on me. And the second mic, because it was like,
Have you never had him back?
no, you can't get hold of him. Obviously, we know where he lives, but we just, me
So
and
do
the
you
other
think
guy were kind
I
of like,
think he did that just to nick your guy's stuff, you know?
maybe, but I don't know. The thing is, he did seem really into it when we were playing, but it was
Yeah.
getting him to play, which, as we've discussed, why I think the social anxiety thing, as we've discussed, once you actually
Well,
get there and do something, it's
For
different.
me,
but-
anyway, I can't speak for anyone else. I find that quite a vulnerable thing, and we're close. We're good mates. When we like jammed together once,
it took a while.
I really enjoyed it, but the anxiety it gives me at the same time is the main reason why I've not asked to do it again. And that's not a reflection on you, by the way. Oh no, you barely put anything on that, you pussy. Do you know what? If you want to impress me, do that with a fucking gentleman's relish. He put sandwich spread on top of a Milky Bar raspberry ripple. Regretted it?
It's not nice. Wash it out. No, yeah, like for me, playing or singing in front of someone else, it's like one of my things on my list to do that I would love to do is do an open mic night.
Okay.
And just play like 2 songs or 3 songs.
Would you sing and play the guitar?
Yeah, but like 3 songs, cover, original cover. Do you know what I mean? Just to slip an original in there.
Have you written any music?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've got 4 or 5 finished songs.
Okay.
Maybe
you
more.
Got any like foot stompers? Do you know what I mean? You got anything to get the people going?
I could have.
Oh.
Over then I've probably got about 40 ideas and little melodies, riffs, chord progression, stuff like that I've got.
I will quite happily sing your songs.
Floating around there. I would love you to sing.
Man. Like, I love the idea of being a front man, by the way. Like, I just love the idea of it.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if I've got it in me.
You'd have to build to
stop smoking as well. I'd have to stop smoking.
Never did the Stones no harm.
No, but it does though. Like,
you'd have to be fair, to match the Stones, you'd have to take a lot more than just smoking.
Yeah.
You'd have to be putting a lot more shit into your body, not cutting it out.
Yeah, see, the thing is, there's ways. There's ways to still enjoy yourself without smoking.
I would love to, I know this sounds really ambitious, maybe I wouldn't, but I would love to take some kind of psychedelic
and go and perform.
And then write an album or write a song.
Okay.
Just so that I could listen back to it sober and see what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
That would be good fun.
I like it.
But I would love to do an open mic thing. It's on my list. I think I will build up to it.
Yeah.
But the nerves.
Oh, mate,
and
I can't imagine.
Just playing in front of, like, I know you said for you when we got together and did it. Like, for me as well, I was like, playing in front of it was just...
I actually think, in my opinion, a smaller venue would be more difficult.
Yeah, because you can't hide as well.
And you can fucking see everyone. Do you know, like, for example, there's a pub around the corner that does live music. And I look in it sometimes, and, like, they're just on this small little bit.
And no one's interested.
Well, even if they are, they're, like, fucking surrounded. And, like, they're just looking people in the eye. Whereas, like, if you were on a big stage and there's thousands of people, the room's normally dark. Do you know what I mean? So you can't necessarily see that many people. And I could just stare off somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like the idea of being like a front man that's sort of like moving and grooving.
Just gets the energy. Do you know what I mean? Just vibes off it.
Yeah. Like the dream would be if you were like at a festival and there's like a long platform that sort of goes into the middle of the crowd. That would just be like, it's why I've always understood, and like they may be dickheads, but like the Gallagher brothers, for example, and it would be applicable if any top tier performer was a dickhead. I can understand it, because I remember when we went to see Noel and the High Flying Birds, and even his own music, like everyone knew all the words, but particularly when he did the Oasis songs, I think it was Don't Look Back in Anger, I don't think he actually sang that much.
No, just to hear the crowd.
And can you imagine just standing there in front of, 10,000 people every night, and you know at any moment in any one of your songs you can just stop singing and you'll get it from the crowd. Like that, I can't imagine what that, like, being injected into you does to your brain. Do you know what I mean? It probably would make you think you're pretty fucking special. And especially in his case, he wrote all the music for Oasis. Do you know what I mean? Mm. So, like, he's actually got more of an excuse to be an arrogant prick than his brother does. But, yeah.
Anyway, that's just... I've enjoyed my picnic.
So, yeah, I mean, look,
to a point.
Enjoy is a strong word.
I've enjoyed the picnic. I've not necessarily enjoyed the dishes.
I do sort of think, though, if we'd have just picked nice stuff, it would have been quite boring.
Oh, it would have been shite. Just us eating donuts.
So I think it was good that I went and got 3 things that I thought we might not like, and you got 3.
I got one that I thought was 50-50.
Yeah, but in general, like, none of your things were offensive. Do you know what I mean?
I like 2 of your 3.
Oh yeah, you liked the caviar.
You did
as
not.
well.
You did not
No,
like
but you
anything.
didn't like it on. The sandwich spread was by far the least offensive, and I would,
Yeah.
if I had to choose one of the three again, it would be the sandwich.
And like if I
spread.
was in a restaurant or a deli and there was a pre-prepared sandwich that had sandwich spread, I wouldn't be put off.
Yeah, well, it would depend what else was in it with it.
No, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
no.
Whereas if I saw gentleman's relish or caviar was in it, I'd probably think twice.
I wouldn't want to go into a building that had it in it, quite frankly. If I went into like a deli and they go, we've got some dishes with gentleman's relish, I'm like, burn the building.
I'm leaving. You've lost my customer.
100% gone.
If if there's any chance you might have accidentally got some of this on any of my food, I'm not going to be.
Yeah. I don't want even someone on the table near me to have it and I can accidentally smell it.
Yeah.
The smell wasn't too offensive.
No, but the fucking taste.
The taste was bad. The
Like,
taste was bad.
Honestly, I think what would be
Brother,
great, and I probably should have said this at the start of the episode, but if you've listened to this episode, go out, buy all 3 items. They're available
Do
in
it along.
supermarkets, and then go back and rewatch and try it with us and see what you think.
Yeah, see what your reaction is. Because we had different reactions to a few of those.
Yeah, I thought you'd.
It was only the gentleman's relish.
Because the thing is, I like a little bit of seafood. I'm not a big, like, if someone presents me with a whole fish, I'm not very impressed. Do you know what I mean?
Fair.
I don't want prawns that are still fully bodied.
No, I don't want a
shelled.
shelled. I want a de-shelled.
Like, I remember once me and Leanne went to the harvester and she ordered like a surf and turf.
And it came.
with full prawns, and she was like, "Well, I'm not touching those. They're a waste." Because it just grossed her out. She likes prawns, but just not.
Yeah, see, when we go through Italy, some at the service stations,
Yeah.
which by the way, Italian service station food is good.
I bet.
But sometimes they do like I don't know if it's like a sea bass or I don't know what it is, to be honest, because I don't actually speak Italian.
Yeah.
But it's like there's like a white fish with this sort of skin on one side. Put skin on one side, and then they serve it up with like some rice and vegetables and stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
healthy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for that because it means these trips are generally quite indulgent for me with what I'm eating.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's like a bit healthier, and it's nice. It's a really nice thing. And then usually what I'll get with it as like an additional thing is a bowl of just mozzarella, just a big blob of mozzarella.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, the seafood. I'm not like a massive seafood.
I wouldn't mind one day if I had the money going on a bit of a tour of the Med and doing a bit of a Rick Stein and going
just a food
fish
thing.
food sort of exploration and go to small fishing towns
Yeah.
and trying the local food and just seeing what it's like. And
But to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, I would say, let's go with 99 out of 100. If I'm in a restaurant, I'm not looking at I will glance at the seafood
what's your
section.
go-to then? Is it like steak or something?
No, it's normally a
pasta?
a chicken or a pork or
Yeah.
lamb. To be honest, I don't know that I have a go-to. But
It's just you're not particularly into fish.
no, I kind of would. I would
Well, you've
look at
done
it.
well considering. You've done well considering.
You know, I don't mind a sea bass or a salmon. I quite like a salmon.
I like smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon's good.
Smoked salmon's
Smoked
lovely.
salmon's
With a bit of
good.
scrambled egg is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of smoked salmon and scrambled egg on
Or
toast.
even if you go to a nice afternoon tea. Me and Leanne went to one in Tower Bridge, this really posh hotel on our Groupon. And the salmon and cream cheese sandwiches were fucking
Nice.
banging.
I went to when I went to Northern Ireland with my partner, we went to a seafood only restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I was a bit hesitant going in
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like seafood is never something that I would go for.
Was it all right though?
Yeah, so I went for like the least offensive thing. I think I went
Okay.
for a risotto
Yeah.
because you can kind of hide it in the.
Yeah.
So there was like I think it was a haddock.
Okay. So you probably got like a lump of haddock on top.
So there's like cubes of haddock in it.
Okay.
And it was like it was quite nice. In all honesty, it was
But
very
you wouldn't
flavourful.
necessarily go back to
Very
a-
filling, but it's one of their like go-to restaurants. So I think there's a good chance if we went back there, we would go there. I'm not against it,
Yeah.
but I was a bit
It's
like,
wouldn't be your
it wouldn't
first
be. I
choice.
want to go to somewhere where they've got meat on the option as well.
Like I mean, I'm quite a simple guy. I like carveries.
Yeah.
I like a harvester for a rack of
Yeah.
ribs.
Oh,
and
mate. Ribs and chicken,
Yeah,
I'd
you
like- I
just
would-
can't really go wrong. Do you know what I mean?
but then like I said, I quite like a well done pork.
I'm not a big
Um,
pork guy. I do love lamb.
That I just got to give a shout out again. I think we've shouted it out before on the pod. The restaurant in Bern in Switzerland, it's like on the other side of the river, so it's just outside of town. It's right on the edge of the cliff, not cliff, but looks down into the river, which is like way down below, and then you've got the centre of town on the other side of it. And there, this belly of pork, and as with a good belly of pork, it come with the crackling. It was so succulent and juicy and tasty, and the crackling was just right. That if I went back, we've always said it's one of my top dishes. If I went back, I would have the belly of pork with a side of belly of pork. Like, I do not want potatoes or salad. I just want 2-3 bellies of pork.
Yeah.
And the other dish that was like from a restaurant there was a restaurant in Epsom. It's no longer there. I don't even know if the restaurant in Bern is there, but there was this restaurant in Epsom, and I had a corn-fed chicken. And it came on the bone, a bit almost like a lamb shank, like bone in the middle and chicken off it. So good. It was so, again, succulent, tasty. Just everything was just perfectly balanced. Yeah.
I like it. Well, look, it's been a food journey. It's been an episode. It's been a different episode. Guys, please let us know.
Do you want to see more of this?
Yeah,
Less
did you
of this?
enjoy it? The clips will be interesting. Should I just clip
you eating the fucking... No, what is the caviar when you're like this? I can't swallow it. Clip that.
But yeah, let us know if you enjoyed this, if you'd like us to do it again, if you think we should get a guest on and do it.
Because you can do with the caviar clip, you can just tag it as being like Crossing Swords goes up market.
Yeah.
One of us doesn't fit in. You don't have to.
No, it's not shocking that it's no surprise to me that I didn't enjoy that.
It's if you'd have said to like 16-year-old me, or if you'd have said to my mum and dad when I was even younger, one day he'll sit here and he'll eat sandwich spread, cheese, we like flavoured cheese, caviar and gentleman's relish.
Yeah. They wouldn't have believed you.
Never would have believed me.
Yeah.
I was such a fussy eater.
Fair enough. I was always into sausages as a kid. It can't be that surprising. But guys, thank you very much as always for watching. I'm going to quickly rattle through the end of episode.
Can I just quickly get you to sum up with the caviar?
Yeah.
What better sums it up for you? This.
Brother,
Disgusting!
It's got to be that one.
It's that one.
It's disgusting.
Disgusting!
And I think the same for the gentleman's relish as well.
Disgusting!
Whereas the sandwich spread was all right.
Sandwich. There's no thing for this. We've not got a moderately okay.
I'm fast as
Sandwich.
fuck, boy.
I'll tell you when you weren't fast as fuck eating that caviar.
No,
that was a
absolutely.
slow
That was
process.
a slow process. But guys, let us know what you thought of the episode. Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Do you want us to do it again?
I didn't give the email, so you can give the email.
That's absolutely fine. You can do so on Facebook at Crossing Swords, Twitter at Swords Crossing, Instagram and TikTok is CrossingSwords_podcast. And you can email us at CrossingSwords19@gmail.com. And if you haven't already switched over to the YouTube and you enjoyed this episode, I would really recommend.
So recommended.
Go out, get these bits. Hind sandwich spread, Likeberg, I think it's called. Likeberg, lumpfish, caviar, black.
I thought you meant like
and
reading glasses.
Patum peppereum, the gentleman's relish.
Only if you don't like yourself.
If you don't like yourself and you've got a spare tenner,
Sensitive topic.
just go buy some bits.
If you've ever self-harmed and you want to save some scarring on your arms,
do this.
eat the gentleman's relish. It's the same impact.
Yeah.
It's the same.
You'll feel sick.
Low self-esteem that you would be filled with.
And we will see you next time.
Bye.